All right, we are live. The red light is on. It's Tuesday, L. Dawson. Very, very excited. How are you, friend?
I am doing just great.
Okay, I like it. Stacked show, like always, stacked show. We have a little fun surprise guest at 1:15. I don't even think we advertised it or anything of that nature, but Mr. Dean Toole, the man, the myth himself, Island Fights, Game Bred, Bare Knuckle MMA, so much more. So we're talking to him at 1:15. Christian Turner, 145, 7-2, hot prospect. I called one of his fights at New England Fights around like a year ago. American top team prospect, stud lightweight, I believe, right? Lightweight?
Yep. Yeah, he's fighting March 1st.
Saturday.
So next week. Next week, yeah.
Yeah, Saturday. That's at 145. I think we got G at 2. It's always Savage time at 2 o'clock here in Fight Bananas. And then 2:30, am I right? 2:30?
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. One of the greatest flyweights of all time, Adriano Moraes. Like, stacked, stacked.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm super excited to get to talk to Adriano. He's I've been kind of going back and forth with him for a while, getting him to come on the show. So I'm looking forward to getting to chat with him. One of the only men to defeat flyweight GOAT Demetrius Johnson.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a whole conversation on its own. You know, like you wake up in the morning, it's like, yeah, I defeated Demetrius Johnson. I'm good. You know, life's good. All right. Before we get into UFC Seattle, and I think there's a lot there, a lot there, and we got breaking news this morning with Dan Hooker being out, so a lot of moving parts. I have something for you, L. Dawson. This is for you right off the rip. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Okay. So I saw this on another podcast, and it's such a brilliant idea. And I have the answer back to you or with me. If I gave you $20 million, you have to call someone right now and they would have to answer the phone. But to go against it, you have to be so sure they're going to call it. If they don't answer it, you would go away to prison for 1 year. Would you take that deal? Would you go for it?
Oh, who would I even call?
Yeah, who's your call?
At this time of day, there's a very good chance that Grant's phone is in the locker room at ATT.
Yeah.
Who would I call?
It's so funny. So with that, my wife, the best person on this planet, but she like never keeps her phone on her. She's like the opposite of me. She never has her phone. I call her. I could be dead on the ditch all the time. She won't answer. And I love her to death, but she's not the call, you know? Dean, who I love dearly, he's coming on 12 minutes. He won't answer the call.
Dean will never answer his phone.
There's two people. Are you ready, L. Dawson, for me? One, my little brother, Uncle Drew, we call him. Even that he works, sometimes he answers, be like, hey, dude, I'm at work right now. What's up? Like, he always answers, I feel like. And you ready? My second pick is you. You would answer.
You would probably have to be my number one choice. You are my friend Allie. I feel like she works from home, so I feel like she answers the phone a lot. But like you're probably the number one person that when I call, you answer the phone.
Yeah, it's like I'm never not doing anything I wouldn't answer your call. Like I just, I'm gonna answer it. So yeah, I had you at 1 or 2. And I sometimes, I think sometimes you are up in the early. So funny. You and G are kind of like opposites. You texted me last night. I think it was at 11:30. I was dead asleep when you texted me.
I figured you wouldn't see it till the morning.
Yeah. And then G's the opposite. G's up like at 6 a.m. She texts me before I see the kids sometimes. I'm like, okay, Jillian, yes, we're doing that. Yes. So crazy. So, okay. So Allie or myself, that's your call?
That's got to be my top 2.
And would you risk it?
If it's not during training, Grant will answer.
Yeah,
but if he's training or playing Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not a shot.
And my other question with that, L, would you risk it? Would you say, yeah, I'm going to do it, $20 million, or you would go to prison for a year?
I don't know. You better answer your phone, Dave.
I will. All right, there we go. I saw that on another podcast, and it was so funny because they actually did it too. The guy called. He's like, oh my goodness, I just won $20 million. And the guy's like, really? He's like, no, it's just we're doing it for a game for our podcast. So I like Mr. Beast would do something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, minus the prison, but
yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen Mr. Beast? He did the thing with the grocery store where you just like live inside a grocery store for and however many days you stay, you get a certain amount of money.
So it's funny. I haven't seen that one, but I'm actually my oldest son, Colin, years ago was super into Mr. Beast, and he kind of like almost grew out of it. And now my second son, Dylan, super into Mr. Beast. We watched that show on Prime, which was amazing. Beast Games. Oh, give it 8 hours. It's worth it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
I'll
good.
check it out. I'll check it out. I like him just as a person. Like he does
You
a
and
lot
Grant
of
would
good,
love
you
it.
know.
Like it's so gamey, and also it's like very like strategic and smart, and people are backstab. It's great reality TV. Phenomenal. But I haven't seen, like, now I'm in it a little bit because of Dylan's in it. So like I'm kind of I'm getting into Mr. Beast at 40 years old. I'm starting to watch him. Pretty crazy.
He's a good dude. Like he
Yeah.
does a lot of good.
He
Does
does.
a lot of charity work. So I'm a Mr. Beast fan.
Cool. All right. I always say this, ladies first. Do you want to start? We got 10 minutes before Dean gets on. You want to start with the breaking news of the day, or you want to kind of retract to UFC Seattle? Because there's a lot there on the bone.
Dude, yeah, there is a lot. Honestly, yeah, no, let's hit the breaking news off the right off the rip, because I think we can get into UFC Seattle. Yeah. Crazy.
Insane. For one,
we were
what
just talking about this. Oh, it's 5 rounds. It's gonna be a banger. And it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. So I made a video about this today, and I have a couple things, and I want to hear what your thoughts on my thoughts, I guess. First and foremost, I love and respect that Dan Hooker on Tuesday before fight week is saying, can't do it. My hand. I would assume, Elton, you can tell me if I'm way off on this. I bet you that man was still hurt or injured when he signed this contract and was hoping the hand would be better when the fight course came around. And
I mean,
it just,
that's a possibility.
right?
Yeah.
It probably just never got better. And he's like, dude, I'm not good and about to be in a war. Like, imagine if you can't use your right hand against a fight in Justin Gaethje. It's like, that's pretty bad. That stinks. So I respect that he's doing it now, because he is given time for Grant Dawson. He's given times for Money Moicano, Gamrot, Ilya Taporia. He's given time for people that maybe have a chance to fight Gaethje in 12 days.
Ilya is a name. I was like, Gamrot's not booked yet. Moicano's not booked yet. Grant's not booked yet. But Ilya is not a name that crossed my brain. But now that he's apparently a lightweight, I mean, that could be a really, really fun fight. And I will say, yes, that's absolutely a possibility. There's also a possibility that he hurt his hand a couple weeks ago and was, trying to push through it. And it just, isn't coming through. But was 20 minutes just on that fight. I know. And now it's all gone. It's all gone, Christian. But no, I think I agree with you. I'm glad that we aren't losing Gaethje off this card, even though we are losing this fight.
Agree. And back to my Ilya thing. So when it first came, I didn't think of him, because it's like, that man is the pound for pound, 5th best fighter in the world. He just vacated his championship. That guy, usually those guys don't do short notice fights. Like, that's just how the business is, right?
Unless your name's Alexander Volkanovski.
Of course. And that's why we all love Volk. Everyone, you love him. We all love him. It's Volk. But the more and more I thought about it, and the more we're hearing, and I know this is going into the weeds, and I'm sorry for people. Some people might love this, and some people are like, what are you talking about? Ilya's management group and Makhachev's management groups hate each other. That's just, it is what it is. That's the Ali, and that's Usman, remember? And back in the day, it's first round management, and they used to have Masvidal. Now they don't. And they have Ilya. They don't like each other. So I'm just calling a spade a spade. I know that they probably don't want to give Ilya just the meat, like, okay, you deserve it. Here you go. There is something about, like, hey, man, there's a lot of great lightweights. You don't have a lightweight win, and you only have one title defense. Like, do you automatically get a title shot? Like, I understand that point. I do. So,
and honestly, I don't think he deserves it yet. Like, Volk got that fight because he wiped out the division.
I agree.
And he wiped out the guy who wiped out everybody else.
Yeah,
like, that's why it made so much sense for Volkanovski. Like you said, he just won the belt. Like, he just won the belt and defended it once against Max. And now he's going up. And when we actually are at a time when there are featherweight contenders like Movsar Evloev, and like Diego. Arnold Allen, like Diego Lopez, like, those guys are there. And so it's and we were in such a stale season where Volk had already beat everybody. And we're not in that season anymore. And I feel like it throws us right back into that season with Volkanovski once again fighting for the vacated belt. There's a good chance he beats Diego Lopez, beats Max, beats everybody, and we're right back to where we were,
Yeah, I total agreement. And the one thing that this fight does for Ilya, and I know it's short notice, and I know it's like a major risk for sure, but let's call a spade. If they're going to mess with him and make him fight one of the top 4, 5, 6 guys, and I know this sounds bad, but I'm going to say it out loud. It's the truth. This is the best matchup for Ilya. Like him fighting Arman or Oliveira are 50-50 coin tosses at best, right? Like him fighting Gaethje, who's a little bit of a, gunslinger, banger, probably maybe a tad past his prime. Maybe the chin's a little vulnerable. I don't know. But out of all these matchups, and then I say this too, how much, if Ilya does this, like we just go like, guys, he can walk on water. If this man takes Gaethje on 10 days notice, and he was literally the featherweight champion, and he's risking it all on a 10-day short notice against the most violent man in the sports, like we give him everything.
And that's, like you said, that's why everybody loves Volkanovski. Even after losing his belt, he's cemented with legendary status because he has taken big risks. Do I necessarily think that he should take those big risks? But I don't know. But yeah, like if lightweights can make that weight, true lightweights, like Ilya's coach can say he's 200 pounds, whatever, like the guy's 5'7". If true lightweights can make that weight on 2 weeks, which they may make it 170, which if they do that for Ilya, yeah, that's fair. That's fair in my book too.
Or even like 160.
But if they can make it in 2 weeks, Ilya should be able to make it in 2 weeks. And I'll be honest, I don't think he will take this risk. I don't think first round we'll have him take this risk. But I agree with you. I think it is stylistically a great matchup for Ilya. Yeah, he absolutely could get beat, but I think with going up and dealing with these bigger fighters, mitigating it by fighting somebody that doesn't wrestle offensively a ton in their fights and is willing to fight in the pocket with you, even though you have crazy power. Like that's a good stylistic matchup if we're looking at the deepest division in the UFC, which is what the lightweight division is. Right. I'm with you on that. I mean, we've seen Gaethje, he wrestled Fiziev one time in the fight just to say,
8 seconds left in the round. 8 seconds left.
One takedown just to say he did, Like, I don't think he's going to be immediately trying to wrestle Ilya, while I think a guy like Charles or Arman, I think he's going to have a harder time grappling with those guys, So
for sure.
I'm with you. And Gaethje just isn't the biggest lightweight either. Like, he's a true lightweight, but he's not massive like Islam,
All right, we have our first guest coming in a minute. So my I guess the question at hand, and this is why we get paid the big bucks, L. If $10 million question, you got to get this right. Who fights Justin Gaethje at UFC 313?
I think it depends on Sean Shelby, because I do know that there's a handful of matchups he wants to happen. So I think it depends on if he's willing to sacrifice one of those matchups or not. And it depends on the guy being able to make weight. I think it is a 50-50 tie between Gamrot and Moicano. I do not think they will offer that fight to Grant before offering it to those two guys.
Okay. So I like the other
whether
50
with it or not, I just don't think that they'll offer
I'm
it.
75-25. I'm 75 one and then 25 another. My 25% is Gamrot. So your first or second place guy is my second place guy. My first place guy, you did not say. I think it's a rematch with Rafael Fiziev. I think he hasn't fought in a long time. I think it's a great fight without risking another great fight. And we're happy in the UFC fan landscape. And this is my thing with Moicano. And dude, we love Moicano. I love Moicano. He's the funniest. I want him on the show next week. I love Moicano. I just think it's hard for the UFC who just did it for him. Like they're like, hey, you're on the card. We give you the best opportunity. And it didn't go well for him. It stinks. Makhachev's the best in the world at 155, maybe the second best other than Grant. Like It's tough. I just don't think Moicano gets that again.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I do think both guys can make the weight, and both guys are notorious for taking short notice fights. So it's like we saw Gamrot fought Jalen Turner on like, honestly, with all the travel he had to do for his visa, it was really like 6 days notice of actual preparation. But yeah, like I know both guys are capable of taking the fight short notice. I don't know that Fiziev, I don't think it's Fiziev. I think Fiziev has been out long enough that he will want to camp. And I think they're interested in other rematches for Fiziev more so than the Gaethje rematch.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. We put a pin on Dan Hooker's out of UFC 313. Gaethje's still going to remain on the card. I would assume it's going to be a very nice fill-in. There's great choices. There are a plethora of choices. There really is. You can't go wrong with Gamrot, Moicano, Fiziev, Benny, Grant. God forbid if they did Ilya, that would be a big one for sure. See, he
kind of helped. Like the UFC wasn't doing Moicano a favor. It was the other way around, is what you have to remember.
Yeah,
so I agree with Chris to an extent here.
I just don't think they give. Yeah, you're going to give Moicano back-to-back Makhachev and Gaethje main event and co-main event and short notices. I just don't see it. I think it's like almost
the difference is on short notice. I think this is a very winnable fight for Moicano. While I think he would need a lot of time to prepare for Islam. Yeah.
Joshua Bell, Hooker's out. He has his hand. It's his right hand. All right, let's talk about it. I think Dean will come in when he comes in. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We got to keep the show going.
Come on, Dean.
UFC Seattle. Man, it was awesome. We did a watch along here and Fight Bananas on it. So there's a lot to talk about in the main card, but something that I think you and I are both very high on. It's like a little bit of our MMA fandom. Watch the prelims, people. We saw maybe the best prelims. I hate to be hyperbolic of all time. Like, top 3 prelim shows, 7 fights, 7 knockouts, like exciting too, like submissions and TKOs and multiple. It was great. Like the first 7 the prelims were phenomenal.
Yeah, I have 0 complaints about this card. Okay. Obviously, I would have liked to see the main event go a little bit longer, but even with that, like the card was absolutely stellar.
Yeah. So then the 3 things on the main card, to me, there's 3 really big talking points. And one, we have a picture for it, so we'll put that up here. This is Lord Gene Silva's life, and we are just living it. We are squirrels on the side of his world, just living it. This man could be a superstar. Like, he is rocket launch. Put it on him. I'm ready for it. This man can't do no wrong.
I'm telling you, this is how we play Gene Silva. We let him beat the piss out of Bryce Mitchell, cut Bryce Mitchell, never have to hear from him again, and then just keep matching him up with exciting strikers after that at 145, because there's a ton of them. I think very few people are beating this guy striking. Just phenomenal range control. I love, Jillian and I were talking about this on Sunday, and she said it best. She's like, there is such a clear picture of game planning and just tactical warfare coming out of the Fighting Nerds gym right now. Like the trap setting, how beautiful their striking looks. Like, I'm just so impressed with all these guys from this gym, but especially Silva.
It's amazing. And it's a little bit of everything. It's his fighting style. When he gets on the microphone, it's the aura. There's just, he's got it. Whatever that is, it's so hard to put it in other sports. Sugar Sean O'Malley had it, and it's different than Silva has it, but he has it, and he has it. And just get ready. I'm excited for the what's going to come next for Gene Silva.
Oh yeah. No, I'm tuning in whether the rest of the card is trash. I mean, I always watch the fights, whether anybody thinks the fights are trash. But if Gene Silva's on the card, I'm paying attention.
For sure.
Gene Silva, I wouldn't hate to
That's
see
a good one. That's a good one.
On short notice. He fought Dober on short notice. Like,
yeah, that's a left field one. That's a good one. All right, let's go into the co-main event. It's a little bittersweet for at least me. I'm a Brendan Allen guy, and it's I watched Brendan Schaub earlier today, and he was the same thing. It's like Brendan Allen is so good. I just want to get in the cage and shake and be like, Brendan, just go left, walk left. Like, all the money is right there, and he's just like this close away. There's just this little misconnection of some 2 or 3 things in the fight, and it's like, other than that, he's so good. But Fluffy Hernandez wins again.
He's incredibly talented, and I did pick Hernandez to win this fight, but not by a landslide. You know, I did expect it to be close, which Allen had opportunities, and he did seize a couple opportunities, but I feel like there's just something, especially seeing his post-fights, like posts. I think there's something up here, like saying like, oh, I'm not the guy I thought I was and stuff like that. Like, I hate to see a fighter say that after 2 losses to 2 really good guys, you know, including, and obviously the Imavov loss, not super close, but he looked great the first round, you know, so
won the first round.
There's glimpses of greatness with Brendan Allen that I wonder if he just doesn't see. Yeah. And he's having a hard time staying confident through it, which is a shame because, I agree, he's very talented. But that being said, I'm really excited to see Hernandez win this fight because I think it makes the division more interesting. I don't think people were looking at him last year as a possible future contender. And now, after what he did to Michel Pereira and just this relentless pressure that he brings, he is a very grappling heavy fighter that I am never bored to watch. And most people are never bored to watch, you know?
He's so good, so fun. His next fight's going to be big. Fight Finance did a matchmaking Monday. I think they nailed it. Fluffy Hernandez against Jared Cannonier. Literally, Cannonier won the main event 2 weeks ago. Fluffy won the co-main event this past weekend. That's perfect. They're both. And even Cannonier is fighting underneath him in the rankings. So I still think it would be a good win for Jared Cannonier. It's like, this guy's on a 7-fight win streak. It's a great, great win. Couple of comments.
Devil's advocate.
Sure.
Let Cannonier rematch Whitaker because it makes sense because Whitaker's above him, but he's coming up, you know. Okay. But have Fluffy Hernandez fight Caio Borralho. Would love to see those grappling.
It's a great fight. It's almost you're canceling a new title challenger.
That's true. Let the 2 old dogs fight each other.
Like, I almost like
fair enough.
Caio versus Whitaker and Hernandez versus Cannonier. So they both.
I don't hate that either. Yeah. Then you move 2 contenders up. Sorry. Carry on.
No, you're good. You're good. Someone challenged me in the comments, so I got to come at it. All right. Our big man, Christopher J goes, Dave, you said on the watch along, Pitbull at 37 years old is past his prime. You have Volkanovski, who's 36. Why is the difference?
2 totally different people.
2, for 1, totally different people. And 2, Volkanovski's past his prime too. I'll say that. Like, he's a slight bet in favor against Diego Lopez. I think I'm leaning Volk, but I'm. You ready? Volkanovski is past his prime. He's still great. It is what it is. But guys past their prime. I'm the biggest Dustin Poirier guy there is. I love Dustin Poirier. Poirier's past his prime. He is.
That doesn't mean he's trash. Like, we're not saying these guys are done. They're never going to win another fight.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they haven't peaked and maybe they've just started to come over their peak.
I think both of them are like that. Pitbull's probably still great. Like, I can't wait for that fight against him and Yair. But he's past his prime. He's 37 years old, and he's been through wars with Michael Chandler and everyone else in the Bellator lineup. Like, wars. So,
I agree.
All right.
Now it's time for me to call out
you do
somebody in the comments. Sean, wait. You can't wear earrings in the octagon. He has crazy big gauges, so he puts tape over them so that people don't get their fingers caught in the holes.
Yeah.
You can't, that's not a thing. You can't wear earrings in the cage.
Yeah, you can't do it. Like necklace, you can't have anything. That's why they check everything.
No.
All right. 25 minutes into it, I can't believe we're talking about Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong for the very first time, but we are. There's 2 different ways to go through it. So I want to go one avenue. And of course, we're going to make that right-hand turn. We have to on this fight. I thought Song Yadong looked good. He was winning the fight. And I actually thought he was getting stronger through the fight. I thought if that fight went 5 rounds, Song was going to win. I just think he's in his prime and in 2025 better than Henry Cejudo. So that's my take
how did you score the first 2 rounds?
1-1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I did think Cejudo won the first.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't have been mad if Cejudo won 2-1 after the first 2 rounds. I do agree with you that Song was getting stronger, but like I wouldn't have been mad to give the second round to Cejudo as well. But there were, because it was like it was very push and pull. So it's still don't like it though from Sean.
Sean's the
Fair
man.
enough. Yeah, fair enough. But like I feel like there were moments where there were like minutes in the second round where Song was doing really well, and then there were minutes in the second round where Cejudo would start to push back, you know. So I'm not mad either way with it being 2-1 either way for the first 3 rounds. I do agree with you though that it absolutely was headed towards Song. Song was absolutely getting stronger. But that being said, that's why in my head I was like, dude, this is a close enough fight that Henry Cejudo could win 2-1 in the first 3 rounds. And if he does, what a vet move. Like I get the disdain for like the fight ending. I do think it was a really bad eye poke. Maybe he could have kept fighting, but the way his body language changed after the fight restarted, I really do think he probably couldn't see, which is very scary with somebody as twitchy and fast and powerful as Song Yadong in front of you. So like I'm not upset that the fight stopped, even though, of course, I'd love to have seen 2 more rounds. But if he had won, how much of a vet move would that have been, Dave? Come on.
Dude, okay. We're going there. I got to say this because I don't know why it's a thing, but we will get into this, guys. This is the show. Christian goes, dude, we love Christian. He goes, Dustin is still beat most of the rankings. Again, guys, I have Dustin Poirier. He's one of my all-time favorites. I got pictures of him on the wall here. I love Dustin Poirier, but he's past his prime. Guys, my name is David Van Auken. I'm past my prime. I will still outwork anyone in the comments.
It's not an insult.
I know it's not an insult, guys, but he's past his prime. Dustin Poirier would say that. Guys, we're older. I'm older than I was.
You can still become a world, like, depending on, you guys don't think Glover Teixeira was past his prime when he won the belt?
Yeah. I think Volkanovski's going to beat Lopez. I got Volk.
It just means he's past the absolute physical peak. Those are 2 different things.
I don't get it.
We're not saying what you guys think we're saying.
Yeah, I love it. I am past my prime, and I'll say this, maybe egoist. I'll work anyone in this comment section right now. I'll work out on everyone.
Can we bring this comment from Christopher J up really quick?
I got to talk about Cejudo, sure. Yeah.
No, it's funny. If you guys have not watched Mighty Mouse reacting to several fights, and just Mighty Mouse in general is one of my favorite people to watch, but this is pretty hilarious. Yeah, so even Mighty Mouse, who obviously has some beef with Cejudo, well, I think they've kind of squashed theirs, but
yeah, I think so.
Has had beef with Cejudo, agrees that it was a pretty bad eye poke.
Okay, so back to your vet, air quotation marks for everyone listening to it, about Cejudo. To me, there's only 2 different things that Cejudo / Herzog should have done, and what they did was the wrong one. So
No, Dave, you're so wrong. There should never be a no contest.
No, absolutely. If Henry Cejudo can't see, I don't care. It's bad timing that it happened with 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the 3rd round. But if he's that hurt and it happened due to an eye poke, the fight's over. If you're in a marriage and all of a sudden, you know, your birthday's about to come up and Grant cheats on you, the marriage is over. You know what I mean? You can't wait till your birthday. God, my analogies are way off. I'm sorry.
So Grant, bad,
I know. But you know what I mean? You can't. Herzog made it a official fight. He stretched out the fight. For one, the last minute, you ready for this one? Just real quick, if I could say, maybe that 3rd round was leaning Song. The last minute was a great minute for Song. Why? Yes. Because Cejudo can't see. So you're stretching it to the 3 rounds so we can see the judge's scorecard, and Cejudo literally can't see. So my point is, you got to do 2 different things. You got to take the point away. You have to take the point away. For one, Song was horrible the whole time. I agree with that. You have to take the point away, or you stop the fight. I don't want to see a no contest. That's things for content and fight bananas. It does, but that to me is the proper call. You can't stretch anything out because of time. That is, to me, horrific. I say it. How many times have we saw the fight end with 4:59? On my analogy, that was a bad one too. I'm sorry. Dude, I called Grant this morning at 9:05 a.m. I love Grant.
When you're ready, I have 2 rebuttals.
Okay. My point is to stretch something because of time. We've seen knockouts at 4. We've seen Holloway and Gaethje didn't go to the scorecards. It was a knockout at 4:59. They called it because that's the proper call. If you're supposed to, if he can't see, fight's over. Done.
So there's two things. Should he have taken a point? Yes, I will agree with you there because it was not the first foul. And also, I am very hardcore on this. There should be no warnings. You know the rules before you start the fight. There are no warnings for false starts in football. You get a penalty immediately.
Dude, a football analogy from L. Dawson?
Right? Not usually my best, but that one's solid. There are no warnings for false starts in football. You should immediately lose a point. There would be, I agree. Jim Miller is really big on this. He's like, I've never poked anybody in the eye, and he has the most fights ever. So if Jim Miller is saying he's never poked anybody in the eye, I feel like we probably should change this rule. Like it needs to be an immediate point deduction. So I agree with you there. And I do think that would have probably changed some things, especially if we had an immediate point deduction for the low blow and the eye poke. With the only exception should be action variance. So if you only hit poke an eye or knee the head because of an action variance, it shouldn't be illegal. Or it shouldn't be a point. Anyway, sorry, I digress. However, the rule is if you get poked in the eye, and this has been the rule for a while, even if you can't see immediately, you still get 5 minutes.
Sure.
After those 5 minutes, Henry Cejudo did not say he can't see. He said that in between rounds after. At that 5 minutes, he said, I can fight. He made the decision. He is a grown-ass man. And he said, I can fight. I want to fight. And I commend him for that because I truly do believe from his body language at the end of that round that he could not see out of that eye. Which honestly begs to, we got to credit Michael Bisping, as Gillian brought up on Sunday, for just never being able to see out of one eye. But point being, he made the decision. Jason Herzog did not make the decision. He asked him, he's like, do you want to continue the fight? And the UFC puts a lot of pressure on refs to treat main events differently. The doctor usually does not come in during main events. I'm just saying, Henry Cejudo made the decision to finish the round. And then once we'd gotten to the end of that round, the decision to allow the fourth round to start so that we could have that's where you're wrong. Not have a no contest. It's too late to take a point. It was too late to take a point.
No, so it's too late. It's too late to take a point. But hear me out.
There should not have been a no contest, Dave.
Yes, 100%.
No.
If Grant Dawson has a broken ankle after round 2 and he can't walk, and he's like, I got a broken ankle, I can't walk, the fight's over. We've seen a lot of fights end in between rounds.
Yeah, but that's different. A broken ankle isn't the result of an illegal blow.
No, but it stinks that happened that way. The illegal blow.
That would be a doctor stoppage, and Grant would have lost.
But you're talking about the action, not the reaction. Now it's just the reaction. Henry Cejudo, in between the 3rd round and 4th, said, I can't see. When he says that, the fight's over. You can't start the round. That's where I'm super wrong on, or I'm super strong with Herzog. He started the round so we could get a judge's scorecard, which I think is wrong. Cejudo says, I can't see. The fight's over. When he says that, the fight's over.
I disagree. I think it was totally fine for them to make a tiny adjustment so that we could have a winner that was the rightful winner, right? So we went to the judges' scorecard. If it had been a 3-round fight, Song would have won, according to the judges' scorecards. It is so much better that we have a winner than a no contest in a main event. There should be no reason for a no contest.
I also agree with you. I want the winner, but it's the wrong thing to do.
No, I disagree. I think it's not the be-all. I think it's an expert move. I think Herzog is an exceptional ref, and I think he did the right thing for the best possible result from a crappy situation. You will not convince me that he did the wrong thing here.
It's not the be-all, end-all because this man said a lot of crazy, wild things, right and wrong. But Dana White said the same thing of the fight when he says I can't see, the fight's over. Dana White
then it would have been a no contest. Sean, 100%. You can't have a TKO if the TKO is the result of an illegal blow. The rules back up Herzog here.
No, that's actually not true.
They do. They totally do.
No. That's actually not true.
You cannot have a TKO from an illegal blow.
No. I'm not saying a TKO. To me, it's a no contest, and it's bad for business for Fight Bananas. But to me, it was the correct call. When Cejudo says, "I can't see," it's unfair. Again, like my analogy of the husband thing is a horrible analogy. I'm trying to think. It's you
can't have a doctor stoppage TKO if the injury is the result of an illegal move.
Right.
If it was the result of a punch, 100%, Sean, but it wasn't.
Right.
And everybody, because nothing else big happened to result in him not being able to.
I'm with you on that.
You cannot have a TKO from this situation. It's not possible. I'm with you that the fight should have been over, but the fight was over. Like, they didn't actually do anything after that. Like, yes, the fight's done. But that was the difference in waiting a minute with nothing else happening to Henry Cejudo that would endanger him, and us getting a winner instead of a no contest. I think it was the right call. I am, yes, if you say you can't see, you want to be done. I agree with you there. Yeah, but he was done. It was done. He just sat on a stool. It's not like he was in danger. It's a little bit different if you'd let him continue to fight.
And Ellen, I know it's a what is it called when you like what I'm saying is a technicality. But listen, it wasn't done because they did start the next round, and I know he stopped it. But it's the technicality. He says, "I can't see," and they didn't stop the fight. They let the fight continue. That's facts. They let So
Henry Cejudo didn't start to fight again.
I know, but they did that just to get the scorecards. This is the best. Dude, we never disagree. This is so good.
I'm way too upset about this. I need to calm down. I'm an adult, guys. I need to calm down.
Oh my goodness! Perfect timing.
Nothing like Dean Toole popping up.
I know. Perfect timing. Actually, I'm gonna ask him the proper answer. All right, guys, coming on to the show, the godfather of Fight Bananas, Mr. Island Fights, Game Bred Bare Knuckle. There's so much he does. He's the puppet master behind so many. I don't see him in the camera, so I'm stretching this intro out a little bit longer. There he is.
I think it's because I said he was
strong. The one and only.
See you an entrance, dude.
What's up, dude?
What's happening?
Right off the rip, what should have happened in the Henry?
I didn't watch the fight, but just explain what happened, and I'll tell you right now what the.
Okay. Can I do this though? Is that okay?
Good.
A minute 10 left in round 3 of a 5-round fight. Song Yadong pokes Henry Cejudo really bad in the eye. Cejudo waits 5 minutes. He takes the whole time. He continues the fight. The fight goes to the 3rd round. And after the 3rd round, he's like, "Guys, I can't see. I can't do it." Tells the doctor it, tells the ref it, tells his corner. Jason Herzog waits to the 4th round 2 seconds. He rings the bell, 4th round starts, and then he calls it a fight so they can go to the judges' scorecards to make it an official fight.
Instead of a no contest.
I think it should, when he says, "I can't see," the fight's over.
All right, hold on. He gets the eye poke in what round?
Round 3.
So, okay, let me give you more detail.
Round, I'm assuming, right?
No, he lost that round. He couldn't see.
It was a close round, and then but Song won the round for sure. And Song won the round before the eye poke. I agree.
Yeah.
I think they should have taken the point, and that's the one mistake I think Herzog made. But Henry took his 5 minutes.
Cejudo probably won the 1st round on 2 scorecards.
And then the second eye poke, he definitely should have been deducted a point.
It was the second one. It was the first eye poke, but there was a low blow before that.
Yeah, it could have been a draw, Dean. It should have maybe been a draw.
I would have preferred that over a no contest.
But my point is, Herzog continued the fight, so it could be official.
Henry Cejudo continued the fight.
No,
Henry took his 5 minutes. Henry took his 5 minutes and said, "I'm good. I want to keep fighting." Finished the round, but very clearly was just running away to make it to the bell. And then once he sat down on the stool, he's like, "Yeah, I just can't see. There's no way."
And that's after the 3rd round?
That was at the end of the 3rd round. The 3rd round is complete.
Jake, this is the perfect
in order for them to be able to go to the scorecards, Herzog said, "We start the round, and then I will call the fight, and we will go to the scorecards instead of having a no contest." That was the decision Herzog made. Is that the right decision or the wrong decision, in your opinion, according to the rules set?
If he was hurt bad enough, this is what should have happened. If he was hurt bad enough and couldn't continue, it should have been a DQ from Song.
That's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Should have happened.
Yeah.
But Henry Cejudo decided to continue fighting.
Yep.
So he took the L.
But you think the right call after Henry Cejudo decided to keep
If
fighting?
he decided
right
to keep fighting, that's up to him. So if he lost, he lost.
Wow. All right. All right. Dean, how are you doing, my friend? How's life?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Do we have is there a really big event 9 days from now?
10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. Island Fights 87. Hard Rock. Island Fights 88. Pensacola.
Dates on dates.
Back to back.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
We should have like a complete schedule in the next week or so. So
a complete schedule of what?
Just a lot of things. A lot of different things. We'll discuss that in a week or so.
Some game bread things.
We are in discussions. So some boxing stuff too. So
I don't know if you can answer this question.
Ooh,
but obviously some of your game bread roster is in the GFL tournament. Are you possibly signing are you signing some new people to Game Bread MMA or Bare Knuckle MMA? Are we going to see some new faces?
We always have new faces, so whatever those other people are doing, let them do it, and cool. Wish them the best.
I love how vague Dean is. any new faces that you can announce?
I'm sure it'll all work out fine.
Fair enough.
Yes, big fan of that other organization. But no, okay, real quick. Back to Island Fights 87. Hard Rock. Love the Hard Rock. Biloxi, Mississippi. Devin Cushion, I would assume, is the headline. Is he the main event? Boxing. All right. A couple other, I saw high-end mixed martial art contest on it. I think it's a stacked up, nice little card right there in Biloxi. Yeah,
we got Zellner versus Cam Teague. It's going to be a pretty tough test for Cam. Zellner's super tough. Then you have Sabin. Sabin's fighting Aldemar Silva, Brazilian guy. It's like 40 pro fights. It's going to be probably the toughest test of Sabin's career. Devin's opponent, Elio Mosquito, has really fought like the top tier people. Fought Shakur Stevenson, fought some of the really, really high level guys. It's going to be a really good fight to gauge Devin. He just fought last week or 2 weekends ago, got a second round TKO. So this is going to be a good way to gauge, where Devin's at. And then Jasmine Garola is obviously fighting undefeated. Everybody's talking about her. She's fighting another undefeated girl from, I don't know if she's undefeated or not, 2-1 or 3-1 maybe, from Jackson Wink. So she's got a tough fight too. I'm excited about all of them. So John Gunther's pro debut. He's the double champ for Island Fights, welterweight and 185. So super excited. We've all been waiting on that. He is not easy to match. No one wants to fight that guy. So yeah, bunch of awesome stuff. You guys will get to see Big Orso. He's been winning all the Slugfest tournaments. So one of Brock Weaver's peoples, but he's like knocking everybody out. So he's going to be a cool addition to Island Fights finally.
That sounds good.
Island Fights is by far puts on the best amateur fights I've ever seen. Like the most talented amateurs I've ever seen.
Well, we'll have an Island Fight show every month now. So
when are you going to bring it further south so I can just drive? We
are. That's the plan. So we have a bunch of announcements. Will be expanding for sure, but we'll have just up here. We'll have 4. We should have 4 events at the Hard Rock every year. Those are just going to be MMA, by the way. So we have boxing on this one, and then we'll have 4 boxing events in Biloxi per year. That's not going to be called Island Fights, and then we'll have we still have 6 to 8 a year just in Pensacola, but we plan on going to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm.
Nice. Let's go.
That's a home fight for you, El. Home fight.
Love to hear that. I will be there.
Dean, when you said just the boxing, so you're going to have just singular boxing cards
just
that are not
all boxing only. We have so many extremely talented people that can't. I mean, it's so hard for people to get. No one's doing boxing events. Number one,
right.
It's so hard to keep
Devil.
people active, and there's really, really so much talent that people haven't even seen. And I just want to be able to provide that for people, especially like in the eastern region.
Sure.
There's so many amazing gyms. Saban is going to be a star. You know, like, I mean, there's not really any big superstar Filipino boxers at the moment, you know, and I think that's going to be a big advantage for him, and a lot of people are going to be excited to watch him fight. Obviously, Devin, 15-0, 16-0, you know. I mean, look, you look at a guy like Frank Martin, who we watched fight Gervonta Davis. He got the biggest fight of his career at 18-0. Devin's super close to that, you know.
Yeah.
So gets in a position where Devin gets to 18-0 to 21-0, then we're gonna have we're gonna probably be getting a lot of phone calls for a lot of different fights. And he fights anywhere from 130 to 135. So the Shakur Stevensons, Devin Haney's, Ryan Garcia's, Gervonta Davis, even Frank Martin, Rollo,
Rollo Romero.
Pitbull Cruz. Like, there's just a lot of people that it's a big money division, and it's going to have a lot of options. So we're getting close to some of those big fights.
I love it. I got to bring up this question. It goes, Dean, can we have a 3-person commentary booth so we can add L. Dawson? Look at that.
Always.
Look at that. Christopher James added to the roster. I love it. I love it. Well, we got Christian Turner waiting. We got a couple more minutes with you, Dean. Is there anything you said March 8th? Yeah, March 7th?
March 7th?
March 7th.
The event that you're working and commentating? That's what it is.
Yeah, but I'm driving up.
Make sure that's on your calendar, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, show up on the 8th. That'll be fun.
I got some big things on the 8th, but and then we got Island Fights.
What do you got on the 8th?
We kick off T-ball. We have an opening day T-ball. So maybe someone's driving through the night to get back to coach the dinosaurs.
I'm excited about that.
Like I want to stay for more volleyball games.
It's like
dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. The girls volleyball is like the most intense, crazy, fun matchups you ever see. And we saw it. Didn't we see an L? I think we saw an L that day, but it was fun, insane.
Yeah, those are easy. When you go to like tournaments, it's on a Saturday and a Sunday. It starts at 8 a.m. You leave at 2 p.m. and you do the exact same thing on Sunday. So it's an all-day affair.
That sounds long.
It's amazing. It's so much fun.
School volleyball, you go in, it's one match. Like, you play 2 sets, maybe 3 if you win. If one person wins the first one and the next team wins the second one, you go to a third. But they're super quick, in and out.
And Dean's daughter, by the way, she made like 9 amazing plays when we're not videotaping her. And then if you take your iPhone out and hit the record button, it just doesn't happen. It's crazy. But every time. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com for Island Fights.
Islandfights.com
okay.
for tickets. And then tickets just went on sale for Island Fights 88 today at 10 a.m. for Pensacola Base Center on April 18th.
How can people watch Island Fights next week?
They can actually watch it on Roku, on Fubo Sports, on YouTube, on Kick. There's several outlets, but we'll be announcing all the different platforms tomorrow.
I love it. Well, Dean, we appreciate you. Appreciate your time very much today, sir.
Thank you, man. What do you guys got going on? Who's on the show today?
We have
Christian Turner's in the green room right now. Who's your boy coming later? One of the best flyweights of all time.
Adriano Moraes and Christian Turner.
Remember when he kneed Demetrius Johnson?
It's nasty. Absolutely nasty.
It's one of the best knockouts of all time.
From one.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's on the show today?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
that is
we
great.
love it if you want to just come in anytime you want, all right? It's your show.
No.
Throw everything out of balance. It's fine.
It's your show.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Sorry
I
was late,
up
man.
next
I have
week.
like some crazy things happening, but we'll discuss them live on air soon.
All right.
Let's go.
You got the link. Later.
All right. I don't know how to exit out of this.
We'll take you out.
Kicking you. Later. The Toole. The man, the myth, the legend. I want to thank this man so much for waiting in the green room. Couple minutes late, but we're making it happen. Unbelievable prospect at American Top Team. I was lucky enough to commentate one of his fights for NEF like last year. Absolute stud. Kid's still only 23 years old. Christian Titan Turner to the show. What's up, Christian?
What up?
What's
Yo,
up,
boot him out of here, man. Boot him out of here. No, I'm joking.
Come on.
No. Good interview.
Appreciate it.
What up?
What's up, dude? You got something going on this weekend?
Yeah, we scrapping, bro. We scrapping. So Saturday, we scrapping in Tennessee, man.
Tennessee.
Good opponent.
Flying or driving?
Flying. I ain't driving, bro. They'll pull me over, dog. They'll pull me over. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's Ari's Fight Series 30 on March 1st versus David Robbins. Big fight, 4 in a row for you. I assume this might be your last one that's quote unquote on the regional scene. Do you see it that way, or are you not thinking past it, or are you thinking one fight at a time?
I'm focused on this one at a time. You know, we were supposed to possibly be on the Ultimate Fighter. I was talking with the UFC, and I turned it down, though. It was kind of like short notice. They wanted me to go up to 170, and I didn't really like it. So I said, you know what, this contract's already signed. I'm going to focus on this fight, and then we can go from there. You know, what's wrong with more experience? You know, nothing's wrong with rushing, you know? So,
100%.
yeah. So, you know, been in camp for about 7.5, 8 weeks for this guy. Hard, brutal training with the best of the best, and ready to go. Ready.
Yeah, 100%. Man, I feel you on the Ultimate Fighter. I know we kind of talked about this in the gym, but you're still young. You're 23. You have a great record. It does look like this season of Tough is actually like got a lot of really tough guys, a lot of international fighters. What are your thoughts on just like as a young prospect coming up in MMA? What are your thoughts of going the Ultimate Fighter route versus like Contender Series or a short notice fight?
I mean, you know, me and my manager talked about it. I mean, it's a good opportunity. There's always good opportunities, but just I didn't really want to go the show route. I didn't want to do, you know, the TV kind of shit. You're locked in the house with a whole bunch of guys and kind of like reality drama. I'm not too much into that per se. You know, they almost like, they want drama. It's a TV show, you know what I'm saying? So you're locked in, no phones, a bunch of guys all day. And I was like, you know, obviously I could go and knock guys out, obviously, but I'd rather just focus on what I already had going on and keep doing my thing. And when we get the call, you know?
You mentioned about they offer, you know, 170 for Tough. Of course, you're 155er. You're still super young. And I say that compliment. You're still so young in your mixed martial arts career. Do you foresee, hey, I'm going to be 155er for life? That gym at ATT has some of the best 155ers in the world. Are you happy there? Or do you foresee maybe when you're, you know, 30-ish, when you're as old as a Grant Dawson, do you think you have to maybe move up to 170 in the future?
I feel like I'll stay 55. Obviously, the cuts will get harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even notice now, like, metabolism, things are changing. Like, it's harder to cut. But, I mean, it's either I'll just be a big 55er. Everybody's telling me I'm going to be 70 probably by, like, 26, 27, though. Like, I'm probably going to go up. But those guys are fucking tall. So I was like 6'3", like, I'm like 5'10", you know? You know, if you ask her, I'll lie, I say 6 foot. But I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". And you know, 55 is pretty good for now.
No, and I that's the one thing you can't change, right?
Yeah.
You can't change how tall you are, and I definitely know that's a hang up for a lot of the guys moving up. But I mean, I'd be happy to show you some pictures of Grant at 23 years old. He looks like a totally different person.
Huge.
It's crazy how much his body is physically
crazy, right?
He's so big.
Just change the body.
Let me rewind a little bit because I was lucky enough, like I said, I was lucky enough to be in Bangor. Was it Bangor, Maine? I think it was Bangor, Maine.
I think it was Bangor, yeah.
Yeah, Bangor,
Mike
Maine.
Brown's hometown, right?
Yeah. That's what
Maine.
Dude, Mike Brown was like a legend there. Like he's walking around everyone's asking for pictures and autographs. He's a legend
fucking
there. How
Iceland
cool is it
out there, you know?
The
South
go out
Pole
there
or the North Pole, whatever you call it. Goddamn, it's cold, man.
It was very cold. It was. But that win that night, you won against a very high-end opponent. I saw that opponent was fighting on Fight Pass just recently, I believe. And then not even that. I remember the fans you were the outsider, right? You're the Florida guy. They kind of turned on you a little bit. I love that when I used to play ball when I was younger back in my day. I used to love playing on the road more than at home. I love that feeling. Did you like it that night? I never asked you that.
I like it, man. I like it, honestly. I don't even care. I honestly don't care. I mean, these last 4 fights I fought, and I mean, I think all my whole professional career, I pretty much fought like in different like states. I don't think I had one fight in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And it was versus another Atlanta guy, so it was like a half. But I mean, I'm used to it. You know, you go to other people's hometown, and this is kind of better because this is how you build like a bigger following. You go to these different cities, you fucking fight these guys, beat these guys, and then you gain fans. You know, I'll have people hit me up, hey, dude, I support you, dude. So I enjoy it. It's just building, you know, building a fan base, going to these different places, and I like it. I think it's better. Obviously, they boo you at first, but who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Like they're
I
not
think
gonna
it's a
like you, of
great.
course.
I think it's a great way to garner experience as well. Obviously, like you. This is not this is a tough opponent, right? He's 7-1. I just fought Trevor Peek was his last fight, right?
Yeah. A while ago, yeah, he fought Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek's in the UFC now. Yeah, quick, like a 30-second knockout or whatever like that. He's a pretty game guy, but we've studied him extensively.
Love to hear it, man.
Can I say something real quick before you say something else about
Yeah.
Trevor Peek? And I think, you know this about me. I feel like I'm the most positive guy, Christian, about especially. I'm very respectful.
He's about to say some shitty.
Bro,
right
Trevor Peek is that guy can't fight. That guy is one of the worst fighters. Am I wrong on this, L? Am I wrong? Trevor Peek he's just crazy. He's just a
country
strength. Very dangerous. He's
country
dangerous,
strength, like genetic.
Yeah. There you go. Just like
that motherfucker, he just need one punch. Like you got some guys like that, right? Like look at Francis Ngannou. He's terrible. Well, now he's pretty good, but he's actually a terrible fighter. He just has genetically like crazy power. You know what I'm saying? So he could just tap you and you're out. But yeah, like skill wise, terrible. I think in that fight, motherfucker threw spam like 5 kicks and just did 1-2, and the guy was out. You know. But I mean, he has power, so shit. Win is a win, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And that was kind of, you know, my question was this guy, you know, obviously has a lot of experience. Do you feel like you have this opportunity to fight tougher guys because you're willing to go to their hometowns and their promotions to do that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like he's the only guy to accept it for me, honestly. I was having a lot of guys like pull out or deny not take the fight. And honestly, I have more experience than him. He's 7-1, I'm 7-2, but he has more amateur fights, but his amateur, you know what I'm saying? Amateur fights, like, you know what I'm saying? I actually am the more experienced guy. This guy, he's a hobbyist, man. Obviously he's skilled, but he's a fucking hobbyist, bro. And
Long layoff, right? Long layoff.
Yeah, I'm here to retire him. I'm here to retire. I'm not really the shit talking guy, but I'm just take it for what it is. I'm here to fucking retire this guy. This guy, he went out for 3 years. He stepped away. You know, he listen. I've studied him. My team has studied him. He just had a baby like 6 months ago. He's a family man. He has a wife, nice house. He just enrolled back into college. Like this guy's just doing it as a hobby, bro. I wake up and live this shit. Like I don't have a job. This is all I fucking do. You know what I'm saying? All my friends are fighters. This is all I fucking do. Wake up, eat, fight, same shit every day. Like grueling, vigorous training. This guy is just in my way at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put him out, and I'm gonna make it. I'll try to make it quick for him. I'll try to make it quick for him, but you know, if it's not, if he puts up a fight, then I'll have to crush him.
Love it, man.
Yeah, that's the promo. I'm sending that to Ari's. I'm sending that to Ari's Fight Series 30. Guys, Saturday, March 1st, Christian Turner back in action. Do you have a pay-per-view link? Is there any way that you to make some extra money on this fight? Or
yeah, I think they're gonna send me a link. I gotta get it. Once I get the link, I'll send those out like hotcakes, man.
There you go.
Send it to us. We'll throw it up.
Yeah, send it to us. We'll post it on Fight Finesse for you. We got you.
Let's go, man. We almost there.
Hey, I appreciate it. 4 wins in a row. Christian Turner 7-2, about to be 8-2. Next, we'll see him in the UFC later this summer, I believe. All right.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate your time. There you go, Christian Turner. Right. Dude, what a stud! Like that kid. And we've never been like late. This beautiful woman has been waiting for 3 minutes, and as a smart husband, I've learned you never keep a woman waiting. So we're gonna get her right into the chat. Jillian the Savage Robertson.
3 minutes late, and you're hating on Trevor Peek.
I knew you were going to say something about Trevor.
This is all him.
I know, that's what I'm saying. One of the most entertaining fighters to watch. Can you not say that?
I agree with that. Some of my favorite movies are
most
horrible
technical.
movies, but it's just like it's a train wreck, so I want to watch it. But that man is not good at mixed martial arts. He's not.
No, but I love to watch him fight.
Okay, I don't disagree. Don't disagree. Gee, dude, you and Sunday morning, you and Miss L. Dawson have been absolutely slaying it, killing it Sunday morning brew. So proud. I'm like a proud uncle, dad, just watching you guys kill it every Sunday. You guys are killing it. I don't know how far you went on it. Me and Elle, for the first time, argued live on air, so I'm super happy about this scenario.
So heated.
You were so heated, Elle. Jillian,
I need to calm down.
after a couple of days with the Cejudo song thing, and I don't know if you said this, how should have that fight ended to you?
How should have it ended?
Yeah.
My personal opinion with Henry continuing the fight, but
So okay, you thought Henry still was kind of putting the veteran move of like, hey, I can't see, but maybe he still could have, but not feeling good. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Something about him seemed very, like we talked about it on the Sunday morning brew. Something about him seemed very distracted to me, where he seemed like there was one time he got kicked, like it was like a high thigh shot, and I'm like it. I went back. I tried to watch it. I'm like, the more I watch it, I'm like, it doesn't seem like it hit the cup at all.
Okay.
And it's things like that where he was like already looking at the ref to be like, yo, are you calling things and then I don't know. It was just how he reacted to that eye poke too. I'm like, he wasn't even touching his eye for one thing. I'm like, he was sitting on the floor, just like smiling and looking around. I'm like, I just feel like there was a lot of things around it for me that
I agree. I actually agree with this.
I don't know.
Did you guys see the medical, like him talking about the medical report that came after with the diplopia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So diplopia is a little bit different. It's where like it's so blurry you literally see like two of everything.
No, I think he was
a little bit different than what we normally think of with eye pokes, where you can't open your eye.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he was able to open it, but it did look super red.
Yeah, I agree. It did look super red in the pictures that he posted, but I don't know. I just feel like
not laughing at you, laughing at comments.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Elle was done. We got into it, G. This is my thing that happened in the fight, G. So he got poked in the eye, end of round 3, 1:10 left. But yes, I give you that 5-minute veteran move, whatever you want to say. He continued the fight. He never said, I can't see. So he continues the fight. After the 3rd round's over, he went to his corner and said, I can't see. Told his cornerman that, told the doctor that, told the UFC, Jason Herzog that, says he can't see. My point of view, and this is just my opinion, when he says, I can't see, the fight's over. Automatically, he's now telling everyone he can't see. If he does that at the end of the 3rd round and they never go into the 4th round, and I know this sucks as a fight fan or as a fighter itself, it becomes a no contest because they don't start the 4th round. So Herzog didn't want it a no contest. He was like, as a ref, he was kind of like smart in the system. He's like, hey guys, if I ring the bell of the 4th round and then say fight's over because you told me I can't see, then we go to the scorecards. But it's like he did it on a technical term. Like, my point is, if you tell me that I can't see and kind of was saying the fight's over, they should have never started the 4th round. That's my opinion.
I guess technically, I can see both sides of it, I guess. I understand why Herzog did start it, trying to just get to a decision.
Yeah,
I feel like the UFC doesn't want to see fights end because of a no contest.
Especially main events.
Yeah, especially a main event. So that's the reasoning I could see. But it's like, I guess physically what happened was a no contest, so it was kind of like going around the rules a little bit.
My one thing, my beef is with the rules, not with Dave. Okay, because I don't think
you ever have a beef with me,
an option. I think if a fight ends because of an illegal blow, either you can go to the
totally agree with you,
or
on this.
it's a DQ.
Totally.
I don't think we should ever have no contest. I think they're dumb. I can't think of a scenario where you can't find fault at all.
No, I agree. And you see how Song was fighting? I think it was on Henry's side. They posted a video. So he pokes him with 1:11 after. So then they show they just show Song. It's really cool how they did it. Like, how the UFC has Song in the front and then sometimes it's Cejudo. They switch cameras. They just kept Song on the whole time. Cejudo's camp did. For the last 1:11. He had his fingers like this a minute 2 out of the minute 11. It's like, so you just fouled the man with the eye poke, and then there's a minute left, and he had it like this the minute 2 out of minute 11. It's like, you're asking to do it again.
A
like
point should have been taken, right?
100%. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
I think that's also something in the rules that's kind of like, so he got that there was a stop for a nut shot and there was a stop for an eye poke, but they don't like add them up together, you know? So it's like, if there's 2 eye pokes, we take a point, or if there's 2 nut shots, we take a point. But if there's 1 nut shot, 1 eye poke, 1 cage grab, you get 1 free one each fight.
Right.
Crazy.
And it should just be, if you break the rules, you get a point taken.
1,000,000% agree. I want more points taken away and more 10-8 rounds. I would be huge on it. I love 10-8s, and I want points taken away. I want the scorecard at the end to be like 29-26 somehow. It's like, wait, I want wildness. All right.
I will say I understand the argument that like losing 10 yards in a football game is not as detrimental as losing a whole point in a round.
Agree.
There's a reason that no other sports have like, I guess soccer kind of has warnings, right? They have like a yellow card, a red card.
Yeah. Please don't bring soccer into MMA. Please
take a point. Just take a point.
All right. A couple things I want to go through with G. It's been ever since Sunday, been 3 kind of big things. One thing we even talked off air about last night, but let me go back yesterday. Some breaking news happened with Karate Combat. I saw one of the greatest social media posts ever by President Awesome. I think you guys are knowing where I'm going with this. Bryce Mitchell withdraws from Karate Combat grapple match and says he has a fight coming up. But more importantly, he says he hates how the pitcher looked and really attacked Karate Combat. President Awesome was unbelievable on the post back. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, I did.
That was one of the best social media posts of the year by President Awesome. It was so good.
His ears and his eyebrows are changed, so it made him look too feminine. And yeah, I don't. Bryce is. I keep on seeing a lot of posts, a lot of memes about it, talking about the power of Josh Emmett's hands.
Dude, you might be right. I never thought about that actually.
No, he was weird before that.
He was, but not like this though.
Maybe, I mean, we could cite Tony Ferguson, right? Tony Ferguson was always kind of weird, but I definitely think the compounded CTE made it like probably a little worse. So maybe my question is what happens here with Bryce Mitchell? Because he's pretty far off the deep end now. Like, do you think he fights again, or you think he just goes nuts and pulls out of fights until he fights
in the UFC? He's going to lose. They will absolutely give him a bad matchup. He's going to lose, and my honestly think he's cut. I really think the UFC will give him one more so they can say, hey, we did it. But no, now it's all right. That would be, I think it's like 2 out of 3 or 3 out of his last 4 he's lost, and they're going to let him go. That's my 2 cents.
I guess I didn't realize he was on such a bad streak there, losing 3 out of his last 4.
Yeah.
I guess my thought process, it was, I guess essentially that. His name's slipping my mind. He called him out last weekend.
Gene Silva?
Yeah, Gene Silva. I'm like, a fight like that would be spectacular.
He lost 2 of his last 4. I was going to say, because he beat Dan Ige. So he beat Chrome Gracie and Dan Ige, and he lost to Ilya and Josh Emmett.
Okay, my fault. So if he loses to Gene Silva, it's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cuttable. That's cuttable.
Yeah, and just not. It's more of a. Let's just be honest. We know how the game is played. They're not happy with him, and they can't cut him now because I think there will be some pushback. And Dana White is so pro freedom of speech, but
which I respect his integrity. At least he's the same for everybody on that.
That's what I was gonna say though. That's the only reason why I don't see them cutting him because of this, because they are very pro free speech. And Bryce Mitchell is very much a character because of it. He gets a lot of eyes and a lot of attention because he is so out there.
I will say, I think there's craziness that sells fights and then craziness that just kind of like dulls people's appreciation for you. And he is riding that line. Yeah. It's a very fine line and he's riding it pretty hard. So I could see people like just not wanting to see him around anymore as well, you know? Mm-hmm. Eventually, I agree. He continues where he's headed.
Last night, some breaking news of a new fight. We showed this fight poster to you guys yesterday, but now we can talk about it live on air. UFC Montreal gets a female flyweight bout. I think a friend to both of you guys, a friend of the program, Jazz Vicious versus Jessica Andrade, a possibility of a future UFC Hall of Famer, was a champion. Big fight for Jazz, guys. Really big fight.
Yeah.
I think it's her biggest matchup yet, but I also think Jazz has just been on a run lately, and I think this is a good matchup for her. And I think we're going to see 2 Canadian champs soon, That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, let's go. Dude,
who's the other Canadian champ?
Ouch, Dave.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, so here's my thing with Jessica Andrade. Girl cannot pick a weight class.
I know.
Her last 5-6 fights, we've been like 115, 120, or 115, 125, 115, 125. Obviously, her last one was 125 as well, but I think that's never good, And I'm wondering if it's just that she's not big enough for flyweight, but she's older and the cut is just too tough.
Yeah, I think it's more of that. And I think they're setting up Jazz for a win, and you kind of need that nice veteran name. I think it's a good win for Jazz. It's good for the resume, her moving forward, and so on and so on. So
it's the name that built Tatiana Suarez up to a title shot that, looking back now, she probably wasn't quite ready for. So I agree. I think it's a huge notch in Jazz's belt with this if she beats Jessica.
Man, I can't believe I forgot the Canadian thing. I'm telling you.
That is rude.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Dude, I just it totally went over my head. I'm like, G's a Florida girl. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh yeah, it was my fault.
Just rude.
I know. Gee, it's been a bad day for me. Yeah. Also, UFC 315. We don't have a fight poster for it yet, but Jose Aldo's on it. His last name is Ziem. Yeah, dude. How good is Jose Aldo's the best? Like, he's the best.
Ageless wonder, I swear.
You guys, have you seen who he's fighting, Ziem? Who do you think, right after your first rip, who do you guys have?
Yeah, he's fighting Amen, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Amen Zahabi. That's a good matchup. I like how Zahabi's been looking lately. He beat Basharat, I believe, his last fight. Correct?
Looking it up?
I just remember watching him fight.
Pedro. Basharat was before that.
Before that,
Pedro last. Yeah.
Yeah, both his last fights have really impressed me with how he's looked, and I don't know. I'm very interested in this matchup.
I'm too. My first take, I think Jose gets it done. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm ever going to pick against him. It could be Jose Aldo versus Ilya Topuria. I got Jose. I'm sorry. I'm that guy.
I'm torn. I think it depends totally on stylistic matchups. Like, Jose still, as proof from the Merab fight, still has just some of the best takedown defense in the game ever in any weight class. And so it's like, he's one of those guys where it's very difficult to beat him in a striking battle, unless you have the grappling to, like, Mario Batista. I know not everybody loved that fight. It wasn't the most exciting, but he nullified a lot of what Jose Aldo is able to do. I don't know if Zahabi can do that stylistically or not, Yeah, so I'm torn on this one.
Good point. A good comment in the thing, but we'll wait 1 second because I got one more fight poster, and I think G will like this a lot. Looks like this will be the headline of UFC Iowa on Gillian Robertson's card. Davison Figueiredo versus Corey Sandhagen is the headliner. G, do you like it? Are you intrigued? Or do you have a side already? That's a great fight. I love that fight for a Fight Night main event.
Yeah, I honestly, I was looking at the card yesterday, and there's actually a lot of decent fights on it where I was like, I'm surprised by those names. Yeah. I know Misha and Yana are on the card too.
Yeah.
I'm like, another huge name to be on the card with. With the Figueiredo Sandhagen, though, I like them both. I do. I don't know.
Okay.
Figueiredo's really impressed me at 35. I've really liked the way he moves. Sandhagen's just very smart. And it's another one I'm kind of torn, honestly.
Actually agree, because everyone I think is down on Figueiredo's last fight because of Jan, but like, guys, watch that fight back. I know Jan won it pretty easily. I think it was like 49-46 in that range, but that was a really good close fight. There was like 1 or 2 rounds that were like razor sharp, and Jan did win those. So I give you that. But like, dude, I'm high on Peter Yan. I think Peter Yan's one of the best 135ers in the last 5 years. So like, that's a great loss. Like he belonged with Peter Yan. And it's weird. I don't know. Like, I feel like Corey Sandhagen is beloved by a lot of MMA fans and had some good runs and some good times. But like, I think I'm leaning Figgy. I'm right now in 2025. I'm leaning the momentum of Figgy. I just think he's going to like bully him, like big brother him almost.
My reservation from Corey Sandhagen is the way he fought Umar. Even after he knew that Umar can take him down, but not necessarily hold him down, he still was very tentative with his striking. Yeah. So I think this all depends on, well, two things. Can Figueiredo keep him down? Which I don't know if he can. Like, Corey Sandhagen has great grappling and he counter wrestles well. But also, has Corey learned from the Umar fight? Because Figgy sometimes waits. You know, he waits for, like, the best shot. And Corey Sandhagen throws a lot of volume, and his in and out and his footwork, like, and his resume is solid too. Like, the dude is losing to Umar, TJ Dillashaw, Aljo, and Piotr Yan. Like,
and that Dillashaw fight was amazing. That was Dillashaw juiced to the gills, and it was a split decision.
A lot of people thought he won that fight.
Yeah, that was a really great fight.
I don't have picks for these fights. I'm sorry. I'm no help at all. We'll
get closer. We'll get closer. We will get to another comment about the breaking news today, but there's 2 comments in here, and we are putting L. Dawson to the fire right now. L, what's the inside scoop on 316 Kayla Pena? How about the rumor of Kayla Harrison and Pena?
I don't have it. She's told me nothing. I swear.
All right.
I swear. I know that's what she wants. I don't know about that date. I know that's what Kayla wants next. She said so. So.
Well, let's just be honest. Like we go through this all the time. It's like kind of a fun game. There's only so many pay-per-views, right? So Kayla Harrison will be on a pay-per-view. I would assume a co-main event of a pay-per-view. I would assume, right? So there's only so many dates. Like the 316 makes sense. Like I don't think she'll co-main event International Fight Week. I don't think. And I think that's a Jones Aspinall or Ilya Makhachev, right? So like I don't think she could co-main event that. So like I hate to say it, 316 makes a lot of sense. It's in the United States and it's in New Jersey. I like it.
I wonder if that's how the rumors come up. It's like, hey, this just makes the most sense. So let's just say it's in the works, and then they usually get lucky.
You know how many in the works are wrong and then they never rebuild it? It's my biggest thing.
I know most of the time.
I know.
I'll ask, do you know how many fights Gamrot has supposedly been signed for in the last 2 months? And I'm like, hey, buddy, you have a fight? He's like, no.
It's in the works. I say it all the time. Like, I can make a fight poster right now with Ilya Topuria saying it's in the works with Makhachev, Oliveira, Dustin. He's fighting one of those guys. Like, he is going to fight a top 3 lightweight. It's going to happen.
Naturally.
It's in the works. Crazy. All right. One last thing for G. We'll let her run. A future world champion from Canada, by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys know that. I was planning on ordering UFC 313, but so much now since Gaethje Hooker off. That fight off is definitely kills the momentum of that card. All right. So first, let me go to G about the breaking news. Dan Hooker's out. What do you think on that? And who do you think could replace Dan Hooker? And then I'll kind of have a comment on the back end of that.
Well, I think everybody is just heartbroken over this. Everybody was so excited to see this fight. And I'm definitely heartbroken over it. I've seen just on social media a couple people either speaking out or a couple suggestions where I saw Renato Moicano, Fiziev, and I think Gamrot was the other one that I saw on social media that they were like, it was either they were throwing it out there or he was throwing it out there. But I think that either out of those ones, the Moicano or the Gamrot one seems interesting. Fiziev we've already seen, but I'm like, we talked about last week. I'm like, Gamrot's one of my favorites. I love watching him fight. That'd be an interesting fight.
And we always know he's down for a short notice fight.
That's very true. We made that post. It was a great post. It was a great thing by you, G, saying your favorite fighters. How about another lightweight, G? That at 100 lightweight at American Top Team, he's friends with Moicano. He's friends with Gamrot. He's really good friends with L. Dawson. What do you think about Grant Dawson, short notice fighting Gaethje. 10 days notice?
I mean, that's an insane fight to make.
Let's go.
I'm here for it. I just don't think it's gonna get offered. I think Gamrot Moicano is gonna get it. Dave, your question that you asked me was if I was gonna get $10 million if I got it right, who would I say gets it? If my heart wants it to be Grant, but if I'm getting $10 million if I'm right, I'm probably picking Gamrot Moicano.
I'll ask you that question too in a second.
Do you guys think Jalen Turner can make weight on short notice? I don't
know.
No,
he's on that card. He's on it.
Already. Oh, that's right. That is the same card. You're right.
Yeah,
no,
Ignacio.
he's fighting Ignacio Bahamondes. That actually kind of makes sense. Maybe they scrap that fight if they can't get another replacement.
Torrin, you're born, bro. Grant Dawson dominates people. Get out of here with that jazz, man. Come on. That's just unreal. That's so different.
That's how you get blocked on Fight Bananas.
You're gonna get blocked, Torrin.
Insulting Grant Dawson in front of Dave.
We are a pro Grant Dawson podcast. All right. Last thing, G, we had super fun because of this question I saw on another podcast. It's absolute gold. If I offered you right now $20 million is the yes answer, and if it doesn't go your way, you go to prison for a year, G. So you can make 20 million or go to prison. You have to call someone and they have to answer on the first time. Have to answer. Who's that person you call right now at 2:22 p.m. on a Tuesday? Who do you call?
I'd say Dan Donaldson.
Okay. And he's going to answer.
Yeah, I would say he's the one person I know for a fact. I'm like, every time I call him, he's always answering, like, first call.
There you go.
It's definitely not me for anybody. I'll just put it out there.
We talked about you. Yeah, it's not you. All right. It's not Gillian Robertson.
No.
I know L is my second choice. It's my little brother or L. And I still think I'd probably lean L, but my little brother always answers. He's at work. He's like, hey, dude, I'm at work. What's up? Like, he answers everything. But like, dude, we know a lot of people, some of our best friends, like I said, dude, my wife, she's the best person ever, but like, she never has her phone on her. She never answers the phone the first time. So it's like, I know it's not her. Dude, L answers 99%. Like, I thought L's my second pick.
If it's important, you'll leave me a voicemail or send a text. That's where I go to.
And then I said, gee, you'll love this. L and you are the exact opposite. When you text me, it's at 5:45 a.m. And L texted me last night at 11:30 at night. I was sworn to sleep. I'm like, this is unbelievable. I woke up in the morning and go, text me at 11:30?
That's rare for me, in my defense. But I also am not up at 5:45. That's not a thing.
It's a curse.
It's a curse. Dude, one of the best. What a good show so far. Jillian, it's been amazing. Can't wait. Sunday. Dude, I'm not going to lie. It's a bad UFC this weekend. It's pretty bad. UFC 103.
I haven't really looked into it too much, I guess.
It's Kopp and Almabayev, which I actually do want to see that fight. And I do want to see Nasrat and Esteban Ribovic.
Oh, that's a great fight.
I was going to say, there was one fight on it I knew that stuck out. It was that one right there.
That fight should be the main event. That fight's amazing.
There's not much else.
Yeah.
Julian Marquez is a friend of ours. He actually was the officiant at my wedding. I'm always going to tune in to watch Julian out of pure bias. I love the guy. And he's also fun to watch.
Is Trevor Peek on the card?
He's not.
Okay.
I think he has a fight coming up, though, I want to say. I saw there's a couple cards up, but he has a fight coming up soon.
Okay.
Charles Johnson's on the card.
I like Charles. He's fun.
Charles
He's Johnson. A fun fighter.
Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal should be fun.
Oh, I like Chepe.
Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda should be fun. Other than that, it's pretty rough. I will admit it's rough.
Dude, G, you know who's on the card? Who's one of my sworn enemies now? She's actually super nice to me, but she's one of my sworn enemies because of you. I'm pro G. JJ Aldrich is on the card. Are we?
She seems so sweet.
She's such a sweet person. She's very nice, but
she's on our hit list. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I'm
like, for me, I think I took that fight on like a week's notice or 10 days notice or something like that. I'm like, it is what it is. Like you said, she's a cool girl. I'm like, I think we trained together once. It might have been after the fight. It might have been before. I'm not sure, but we've trained together once too. I'm like, she's a cool person. So I'm like, I got no issues with her.
Yeah. So I can hate her for you. I'll do that. You know, we split the record. We split our love and hate for other people. So there we go. Guys, the one and only future Canadian world champion, Jillian the Savage Robertson. See her Sunday morning with Elle Dawson, Sunday Morning Brew.
See you guys Sunday.
She's the best. There's
She's still here. Oh.
I do that all the time. I say good things about people and they're still on the show. Wow. Dude, it is 2:30 already. Where did the time go?
I don't even know. Dude, what happened to our names? It like comes and goes.
I know. I don't know. I'm going to push this button. Oh, no, that button's.
Maybe don't test it right now while we're live.
We're live. Let me push buttons. No.
Let's just push buttons, see what happens. No, JJ Aldrich, I'm sure, is a lovely person. Dave is
I got it. I got it. You ready?
You got it?
Yeah, it's coming. Give me 7 seconds.
We have to make sure our names are there so everybody knows they're not allowed to talk shit on Grant Austin.
I know, dude. Why was that guy? Come on, dude. Not even that. I honestly don't get that concept when they say he's boring.
It's okay. Casual fans are casual fans. It's all good. If you love the sport,
yeah,
you get it. You get it. If you don't, why aren't you watching Muay Thai? It's my constant question.
No.
Why is Muay Thai the least watched?
Chris, JJ Aldrich is very cool. She's been on the show before. I literally think I got a t-shirt of her. She's super nice. She sent she's a great person. She beat G. You ready? King Green is on my bucket list. All right.
That one's fair.
King Green and he's on site. You know how the guys say on site? I say on site with King Green. Okay. When I
won't call him King Green. He's still Bobby to me.
Okay, there you go. Bobby's on site.
Bobby's on site. Careful, Armand almost took care of it for all of us.
Thank you.
Dave, don't engage.
Right. And Torrent, man, you're gonna be on my dude. Torrent, it's on site. All right. It's on site. I'll play, man. Hey, I respect your opinion. We respect your opinion here.
Dude opened his last fight with a spinning wheel kick and kicked a dude while holding his other leg in the face. But it's all good. We can move on.
Oh, did I get the picture up? Nope, I didn't do it. I wanted to talk about, so we did all of our pictures. One thing I do want to bring it up, guys. Elle and I will be at a lot of the future PFL events coming up. We love it. They're all April and the first week of May in Orlando, Florida. We'll be there live. And they just announced their middleweight class. Elle. It is awesome. It's the best division I think they got. There's a lot of names I like, a lot of fun matchups too.
Their PFL is doing something good here. Yes and no. I'm still not a fan of the tournament structure. I think they have too good of a roster to put good people on ice just so that they can keep this tournament structure. I would still much rather see a permanent fixture champ for each division and regular cards throughout the year because they absolutely have the ability to be able to do that. But if they're not going to do that and they're going to do the tournament structure, this tournament is a breath of fresh air, especially after, we got to see the same guys compete against each other year after year. Seeing guys like Jason Jackson pop up at welterweight. We have Dalton Rasta from Bellator popping up at middleweight. I'm pumped to see this. I think this is going to be a really
Fabian Edwards, Aaron Jeffrey, their champion in the past, Impa Kasanganai, I think an up and riser at American Top Team is wrong.
And they've opened up more weight classes because I do think guys like Impa, Josh Silveira are not 205ers and we're competing at light heavyweight. So I'm happy to see them have a tournament to compete in their proper weight classes as well.
I love it. I love it. And that's April 18th. I will be at Island Fights in Pensacola. Elle will be in Orlando handling it. Oh, okay. Jake, any positive things on Grant? We'll get on the show. Grant surprises me on the podcast. He looks quite small, but then looks massive in the cage. Dude,
he's a big lightweight. He's lightweight.
He's humongous, guys. I've sat on the couch with him and watched mediocre movies with him. He wasn't watching Spider-Man like I said he should. Grant's humongous. Okay. I already opened up the can of worms. I know we got Adriano Moraes, one of the greatest flyweight fighters on the planet, coming in any minute. I just mentioned a mediocre movie. You know what else is a mediocre movie? We got a couple minutes, so let's talk about it. Deadpool 3. Deadpool and Wolverine, one of the most overrated movies to date. Hit at me. Come get me. Come get me.
No, you're not wrong. Free Johnny Evelyn. Yeah. No, he's not in the tournament, right? So I wonder what their plan is there, but
it's and then I guess we go on that. We can wait the Deadpool thing. How I see it,
Deadpool too. I agree with you.
The champions, Patchy Mix, Johnny Eblin, Dakota Ditcheva, I think they all are. They've been Sergio Pettis. These guys have been promised big fights, like these Saudi Arabia card fights. Then these Saudi Arabia cards happen once every 6 months, and then they don't get on those cards. So they just are prolonging. Again, Sergio Pettis hasn't fought in 15 months, and his manager, Duke Rufus, his coach, has said, dude, this is the absolute prime. Like, he's 28. Like, this is the best we're going to get at Sergio Pettis. He's not fighting. That is bad. And now he wants
in
out.
The same boat. Patchy's been on a crazy layoff, and he's like, I'm in my prime, I understand what they want to do. The issue is every fight that is a super fight for these guys is signed to the UFC right now. So I just don't know where they're going to get, unless they're just going to fight the tournament winners, which for Dakota, she already beat a lot of those girls. For Johnny Eblin, he's already fought Impa. There's a very good chance we're going to still see repeat fights if they fight the tournament winners. So how are they going to find a super fight for these people outside of the tournament, I guess is my question.
Yeah. I agree. Pushing a lot of buttons right now.
I've been pushing all the buttons.
I know. I got our names on there. I feel good.
Dave doing, why am I so big?
I know. I made you big for a second. All right. So Deadpool, you agree with guys. Deadpool 3, it's very funny. I get it. It's very funny and stuff. Just the movie itself, the storyline, like whoever, I want to know. So like 3 people went in a room in Marvel and they're like, hey guys, what do you think of having like this another alternate universe with these other guys who've been in the movies in the past and now they're here and then we're going to get sucked into and then Deadpool is going to see 14 Wolverines and then he's going to the 15th is the one that he wants. It's like, what do we do?
And then we're going to break the fourth wall every 30 seconds.
Yeah. Like it. My bad analogy again. I was listening to Brendan Schaub earlier with Brian Cowan, Fighter and the Kid. And Brian knows one of his buddies has 7 girlfriends. And it's like, and even the guy who has 7 girlfriends is like, dude, it's too much. Like, I can't do it. You know what I mean? It's too much. Like, anything super good, having a beautiful girlfriend is fine. And breaking the fourth wall in Deadpool is funny. But when you do it every night, you have 7 girls. It's too much.
It's too much.
Dude,
the analogies today. Oh my. Let me check on Adriano on that note.
Who can Dakota fight outside the UFC? Kamoch has drawn her 401k. There's no one else. Jake, we agree. Dakota Ditcheva should be in the UFC. She should. And I think this year will be her year out of the tournament. She's probably going to fight one more time in the PFL, one more against someone. And then I do think we'll see Dakota Ditcheva in the UFC in 2026. Pantoja.
Is that official or just
same thing. It's in the rumors. Like, guys, Pantoja is going to fight and defend his title. Looks like Kai Car France in the number 1 contendership. Yeah, it's in the works, guys. When there's a pay-per-view, they're going to do it. Like, it might be 316, but it's definitely not official. Yeah.
As of Pantoja coming onto our show a couple weeks ago, he said he has not signed a contract yet. So I haven't seen anything or heard anything official yet.
No, back to this comment. Like, dude, there's a lot of funny movies. Name me a Will Ferrell movie or Superbad. That wasn't a Oscar-worthy flick, but it's super funny and has a logical plot. Even like the movies like Kicking and Screaming or Talladega Nights, like I get the plot. This plot was bad.
Talladega Nights is Oscar worthy.
I would wish, but like Deadpool and Wolverine was a bad plot. That's my point.
Yeah, I agree. It just like it just didn't really come together. The villain was very one-dimensional. It was kind of meh. This is a great question because we all know this. Usually it's the different weights. Usually, guys, it doesn't even matter if it's name recognition. If a heavyweight and then light heavyweight, they go by weight on a championship fight. I hate to be technical once again. Kayla and Juliana are bantamweights. They're a higher weight but very rarely does a women's
because women's are always under the weight
over a men's title fight.
Well, because they're always under the weight. That's why.
I guess Maybe.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They should actually be the headline. And you ready for this one?
I guess I'm trying to think of an example, but it is usually has there ever
is
been
one of my favorite. I think the Kayla Harrison and Juliana Pena is the bigger fight because of Kayla.
It might be just because Kayla has so much like just hype and build behind her. And I think we all we know what to expect from Pantoja at this point. Like he already has beat Kai. I know it's been a while, but he did beat him on that season of the Ultimate Fighter with the flyweight tournament. And like we've seen him just steamroll through so many guys. With Kayla, we haven't seen her fight for that belt yet. And I think it has more of a question mark around it. So I do agree with you. I think it has a little more hype to it than Pantoja versus Cara France.
Me too. The more and more I'm talking about it, seeing in the comments and listening to you, I totally agree. I think that should be the headliner. I think Kayla Harrison should headline.
I guess I'm going to respond to Jake's question. Like I was thinking, like, has anybody ever headlined over Nunes? Because obviously she was at one point the highest weight for women's champions, but she was also such a big name. I was like, well, was it because of that or was it because of the weight class, So
even I was at that Jacksonville card when it was Usman Masvidal was the headline and then had two female title fights. Rose and Weili was the better fight. Like those are two all-time greater. And the other one was like Valentina, and I think it was like JDR or Jessica I or some shit like that. Doesn't matter. Valentina was the co-main because she's the higher weight. So crazy. Crazy. You want to do the amazing intro? You want me to?
You take it away, Dave.
I mentioned We're talking about one of the greatest low weight fighters in the history of our sport. I think he's the greatest one fighter of all time. Me and Elle were talking about it off air. We're so pumped to have him on the show for the very first time. Adriano Moraes.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And you guys?
No, thank you. We appreciate your time very much. Appreciate you having on for the first time. So excited. Coming up, March 23rd is your next fight, 172, I believe. That's the permanent black marker date.
Yes, March 23rd. And at Saitama Super Arena, Japan.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I can't wait for that fight. Can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
How many times have you fought in Japan?
This is gonna be my first time fighting. Yes, I have been there already with Kyoji. One time I cornered him, and I've been in Japan for doing another stuff. But this is gonna be my first time fighting.
How much prior do you have to go out there? Do you think you're going to feel comfortable with the time change and everything like that? When will you think you'll land in Japan?
Yes, I'm gonna land just 3 days before the fight week begins. Yes, I'm doing that. I have been doing it like my whole career. I've been in one championship for 13 years.
Yeah.
So I know what I have to do.
You're used to these flights to Asia for sure.
Yeah.
I saw obviously Yuya's name, Wakamatsu. This is not the first time he's popped up on your resume. You fought him to defend the title, correct? After you beat Demetrius Johnson, beat him by guillotine. I've noticed there are a lot of names that are on your record more than once. It seems like you're kind of the king of the rematch. How do you feel about so many rematches on your record? Do you like getting to fight the same guy again? Or is it something that you would rather see more variety?
Yeah, like I love to fight different fighters for sure. I think that that what motivates me the most when you have like more options the fighters have to fight for sure. But like otherwise, I'm just trying to get ready for everyone they put in front of me. Like as an employee, I just go there to do the job. So if they don't have other options, the fighters from me, like I don't care. I just go there and try to do my best.
Is there anything from your first fight with Wakamatsu that you feel like you would like to do differently this time around?
Yes, our first match like was a little bit like controversial. We received a yellow card. Was my first ever yellow card that I received in my whole career. So I hope this time I'm trying to be more in action, like push more the pace than our last time. And for sure, I was looking for the finish all the time.
You said the word employee 2 answers ago. Kind of been an employee for one fighting championship for over 10 years. You've been the mainstay there, maybe the biggest name, part of their whole, MMA promotion. Sometimes I feel like one gets a bad rap. There's other people that kind of sometimes attack it. I don't know if you see it on the outskirts at all, Moraes, but like, how have you been and your relationship fighting for one now for over 10 years, and most of them are being championship fights and headline fights? How has one been for you personally and professionally?
Yes, like professionally, I can say you can see in my resume, like I have the numbers by my side in my divisions. So for me, it's good to get my recognition and get the better deal with the promotion. So personally, I have a little bit of like charisma with one championship because honestly, one time I really needed help and they helped me out like for everything that I needed in that time. So I really appreciated, what they did for me and they could keep it doing, like push me forward, give me fights, like uh, putting me more active, so I don't have not to complain. I'm just out here trying to pay my bills, and make my career go to another level. So I think they, like a few years ago they started like put more pressure on striking and the Muay Thai, kickbox and stuff. I got a little bit mad because I'm an MMA fighter, so I like MMA. So I thought one championship will like throw the MMA for the corner and make us to wait a little bit, but we never know what the business come from, like I say, I'm just a fighter, I'm there to fight. I don't want to like be in between this kind of businesses or different stuff. So and resume everything, like I'm appreciate everything one championship did for me and keep it doing. And I'm happy, man. I'm just out here, I'm go to fight, and that's it. That's our life.
Beautiful.
Adriano Moraes is a company man.
It's not like company man, but like if they make me happy,
Yeah.
to make you smile, I make them smile, you know what I'm saying? That's it, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how it works, I think this kind of business, the her business is like that, Hey man, I need help. Like give me some hands, give me some like way that I can work with them, like to help me out, So in that time they gave me. So right now I'm just thankful for everything. And man, I feel so young. I just want to be active and fight. That's what I'm saying. And they just giving me fight, and that's it. No matter where, yeah, no matter where you're gonna play, you're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have a good contract, a good fight, no matter what, you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
We have this comment from one of our followers, Christian. It says, "How does it feel to wake up knowing that you are one of only 4 men to ever beat Demetrius Johnson?"
Yeah, man, I wake up really good, you know what I'm saying? Like was was a dream coming true, because before was a dream fight for me, and then when I accept that fight and that just happened, and I knocking him out was like dream coming true. That changed my life forever, for sure.
I love it. I love it. One video. So I've been following your whole career, seeing you win more than definitely you lose, have some great high level MMA contests. But before seeing this, and was like, hey, Moraes is going to come on. I'm like, this is great. I watched a video that Amazon Prime made of you, and I don't know if you ever saw it. It was beautiful. It just talked about, you as a kid and everything with your mom and just your career and your first fight and some stuff. It was this beautiful, beautiful video. And I'm like, man, I wish more people here in the States would like see this video because, and also with you in the video, you had this great smile on the whole time. And I think people know you as the one of the best MMA fighters and one of the best flyweights of all time. But I don't think some people in America connect with you yet. And after seeing the video, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm a massive fan of you. Do you know the video I'm talking about? It was like a year and a half ago. It's like a 7-minute video on you. It was beautiful what Amazon Prime and One did on you. It's such a good video.
Yes, I think I watched this video. Like it was a kind of a promotion, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It was a promotion for my trilogy against Dimitri Johnson, right? That they count my story since the beginning, right? Like when they talk about like my mom.
Yeah.
Then when I was adopted by her, and she changed my life forever. And for all the like support she gave me through, I started my BJJ career, then went to MMA, and my life in Brazil, like that's ups and downs and stuff. We trying to go deep to count this story in that for that highlights and stuff because it was a big fight. Trilogy against one of the greatest fighter in the world here in US or in US. And it was our first event in America that happened in Colorado. It was amazing, man. This video is very emotional for me. It's very nice. Beautiful. And I really appreciate this video, man. That's nice.
It was great. I'm telling you, I loved it. I loved it. And the one thing I watched it and it said how early you started in BJJ classes and how young you started in mixed martial arts. But being over there in Brazil, did you ever do anything else active? Did you ever play soccer or any other sport? Or was it a season the video like you were locked in as an early age as a kid to MMA?
Yes.
The skills?
Like I say, my mom introduced it for me like to judo. Was my first sport ever, I think, that I can remember. Wow. But man, I was a sport kid, like I practiced soccer. I used to skateboard a lot, I used to compete skateboarding. Okay. Now, like skateboarding is like Olympic sport, like it's amazing.
Now Adriano skateboards into the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, you skateboarded to ATT?
Yeah, sometimes. That's cool. But yes, man. I've been inside the gym for like long time, like, and then I practice capoeira in my hometown. My old friends, they used to do capoeira, so I went through them to capoeira. Then I was introduced to jiu-jitsu. So I had already the background from judo. So for me, it was a little bit easy to have this application for my sport career in that time, bro. And that's it. I've never imagined I'd be here today, but like thankful for the sport, thankful to be inside the gym. I could accomplish a lot of dreams.
It's amazing. Amazing. I maybe if you answer this question before, I apologize. What was it? What attracted you to American Top Team? Was it a mutual thing? Did you find them? Did you hear about them? What was it to you like, oh, Coconut Creek, Florida, American Top Team?
For sure. Like as a Brazilian kid, our dream is always to go to United States, no Disney's, we used to watch movies, like everybody has a house with some basket square in the backyards, you know what I'm saying? And when I became the champion for the first time in one championship in 2015, I was invited to come to American Top Team just to check it out, the facility and stuff. My manager at that time was Eduardo Malgueiro from my city, Brasília, Brazil. So he says, hey, I got invited here for you to go to United States and stuff. I can take care of everything for you. I go send you to American Top Team and you can check it out if you like or if you not. So I was the champion already of one championship. So then I came 2015 to American Top Team, 2016. I think I don't remember exactly, but I love it. I love American Top Team. Everybody was so cool with me. Conan took care of me. Like I lived for I think 2 or 3 years at Athlete House. They have here Athlete House that when you come from another country, you can be in that homes to train at American Top Team to make our fight camp. So I love it. And one day I decided to move with everything that I had that time was just my skateboard and a lot of
Oh no, we lost your sound there for a second. I don't know, maybe your headphones disconnected. We can't hear you.
No.
Yeah. No, we can't hear your voice. We just hear a buzz. Oh, sorry. We'll pop him out, pop him back in. Hopefully,
that was so good.
More question I wanted to ask him as well.
Adrian,
so hopefully,
I'm telling you, El, I don't know if you saw that video. It was a beautiful 8-minute video on him.
Dude, I'll have to go back and check it out. There he is. He's back. All right. Let's try again. Oh, much better. Much better.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh,
if I was gonna say, if you want to finish what you were saying, but I have one more question for you.
Okay.
You won the belt for the first time in 2015, lost it, won it again. This will be, let's see, lost it, won it again. Lost it, won it again, correct? So this will be...
It's going to be my fourth time. I'm going to try my fourth again.
So with this, should you be successful on March 23rd, this will be your fourth reign as, I believe it's their flyweight champion, but they call it bantamweight because of the different weight classes, or do they still call it the flyweight championship?
It's a flyweight championship, but because the new weight rules, I can make 135 hydrated,
Right. So this will be your fourth time reclaiming this belt. That's just the ultimate Cinderella story, right? Like you talk about your life starting to train at a young age, how you're dreaming of coming to America, and now you're about to become a 4-time world champion. Like, just wrap that up for us, for people who are, watching you and pursuing their dreams. Just wrap up that whole concept for us, please.
Yes, it's like I said before, it's an example to never give up. Sometimes you can go down, but the most important is go and stand up and looking forward to achieve that goal again. That's how Adriano Moraes' career is talking about. Like I can lose the belt, I can come back, I can lose a fight, but I'm never gonna be down. I always gonna stand up. Always gonna try again. And now I just become a father, and my baby is 8 months right now. So I just wanna to her know like how hard worker her dad is, and that's it. I go to fight with no pressure, just to having fun and try to win one more belt.
I love it. That's your first baby?
Yeah, my first baby.
Congratulations. It's nothing like it. It's the best. The best.
Yeah, I'm appreciate.
Very cool. Well, I'm a massive fan of you from afar, from a long time. I was so excited when Elle said we were going to have you on the show today. Appreciate you very much. I very appreciate you giving up some of your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much.
Awesome. We'll have a good one. We'll be rooting for you. March 23rd, 172. The greatest one championship fighter of all time, Adriano Moraes. Thank you, sir.
Oh, man. Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you, all the fans. Thank you, Miss Dawson. Thank you very much. Thank you to have me.
Thank you. There you go. Adrian Moraes. What a stud.
Dude,
what a stud.
About to be 4-time world champion. He always calls me Mrs. Dawson also. I don't think he's ever called me Elle, which I kind of love.
That's very polite. I like it. Dude, I don't think we'll ever see a 4-time UFC champion. It's just like
Yeah.
We crap. If you lose, like you go down so quick in the like UFC, we bury you. A 4-time champion, that's amazing.
When one time he lost it and then immediately won it back. It was he had a split decision loss to Jehe. I don't know how you say his name. And then came right back and beat him again. But it's a guy he had beaten before. Like, just it's wild. It's wild how many rematches, how many times he's fought incredibly tough guys. There's a guy on his record, Kairat Akhmatov. When they fought in 2017, the guy was 23-0, and he had previously lost to him in 2015. They fought, so he was 22-0, beat Adriano. Adriano fights him again at 23-0 when the guy was 23-0 and gets the win. Like, just a testament of persistence, dedication, hard work. Love Adriano. Fantastic, dude.
That's amazing. What a show today, guys. Dean Toole, Christian Turner, Gillian Robertson, Adriano Moraes. What a great show. We got like 3-4 minutes left. If you can ask me anything you want, what do you want to ask me?
Oh my gosh. Why do you put me on the spot like that? You're supposed to ask me the questions. I just provide the.
You've been a great host.
What did we not talk about today? Who are your predictions for if you had to pick a winner for every weight class that's been announced for PFL? Who's winning the tournament this year? Here, I'll pull them up. I'll pull them up, and then you can.
I gotta look at the pictures.
I'll read you each weight class, and then you have to pick.
I got it. Let's start at middleweight. Can we start at middleweight?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm looking at the picture. Dude, that's a great weight class. And dude,
no, right? And it's like some fresh faces too.
Man, that's a really good one. And I don't want to play like the dude, because I think the odds of this would be crazy. Because dude, Fabian Edwards, didn't he fight for the championship before and didn't win, right? He lost to Johnny
twice and lost.
Right. Sadabusi is very high, dude. We love some Dalton Ross to Josh. You ready for this? I think I'm going to stick with Impa Kasanganay. Is that a bad? I think I'm just going to. I think it's the steady pick.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think you have. I think Aaron Jeffries has a shot. I think Dalton Rasta has a shot.
Yeah.
I think Fabian Edwards has a shot.
Is awesome.
Do what?
Sadabusi is really good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I forgot about Sai. Yeah. Ooh. Ramazanov is very good. This is a tough one.
That's a tough
I'm
one.
not going to tell you if I agree. I'm just going to make you pick. All right. Now we have welterweight.
What? Say again?
Now we have welterweight.
All right. I'd had them.
You have Impa for middleweight.
Yep. Where's welterweights?
You have Jason Jackson, Logan Storley, Magomed Umalatov, Mohamed Berkamov. You have Korshkov, who's 28-5. Like, what a record. Oh,
yeah.
Who wins
and
this?
I think this might be a bad pick on me. I'm just going to go with, he's been the poster boy. I'm going to go with Jason Jackson. It might be. Wait. Welterweight? No, I'm going with Megaman Umalatov.
Umalatov?
Yeah,
Umalatov beats Jackson.
He gets it done this year.
I definitely would expect to see 2 out of the following 3 people in the finals, and that's Korshkov, Jackson, and Umalatov.
Logan Storley's pretty good too.
He is, but I don't see him getting past Jackson.
Okay.
Or Korshkov or
PFL breakdown. Dude, PFL should pay us for this. This is good. All right, what else you got for me? What's the next one?
All right. Do you want to do featherweight next or women's flyweight next?
I want to do featherweight.
All right. You have Adam Boric, Gabriel Braga, Jeremy Kennedy, Jesus Pinedo, Movlead, 21-0, absolute savage, Nathan Kelly, Yves Landu.
Yeah, you ready for this one? I was maybe thinking Pinedo. I'm going with Movlead.
100% it's Movlead. I back you up there. I agree.
Yes. There we go. Okay.
So good, dude.
He's so good. Dude, people don't know. All right.
Women's flyweight. We got a couple new faces.
That's the easiest one. I'm not even going to waste time.
7-0, girl. 7-0.
Talia Santos.
Talia Santos wins it?
Yeah. She beats everyone not named Dakota Ditchapa.
Dude, how good is her record? Talia Santos' record is 22-4.
Dude, she has a win over G. She beat Valentina Shevchenko. I saw it. Am I wrong on that, El?
All right. There. No, I thought
He
she
won
won the
that
fight
fight.
too. Yeah.
He
I'm with it.
drowned Shevchenko. Drowned her.
So that's that. There you have it. You have Dave's picks, not L's picks, but Dave's picks are Movlead.
How about bantamweight?
Impa
Men's bantam.
Kasanganai. Is it up? Is it up yet?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
There's Menkalaev, Higo, Jake
Where'd
Headley.
you find it? It's not on the website.
PFL Instagram.
So it's not. They
That's
didn't. They
we
couldn't
can skip
update
it.
their website. All right.
can skip
Let me find it real quick. And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, guys, what a show today. We're gonna have also, if you just are checking in all 2 hours, we appreciate you guys are the best. But we will have Dean Toole's interview and Christian Turner's interview, Gillian's interview, and Adriano Moraes' interview, all separate later on this same YouTube channel. Guys, like the channel, sub the channel. We're growing this YouTube thing, you know.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? Hit me.
I'm ready. Magomedov, Leandro Ego, Kamadov, Taleb, Jake Hadley. Wow, Jake Hadley.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Aaron Clark.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going Magomedov.
Magomedov.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So Dave's picks from women's flyweight. We have Tyler Santos. For the men's bantamweight division, Magomedov, featherweight. He has Movlead winning. Movlead Kaibulaev. Yeah. I don't think I totally butchered that.
Nailed it.
Welterweight, he is picking Jason Jackson. And for middleweight.
No, I switched it. I'm going with Umplov.
Molotov. I'm so sorry. Magomed Molotov. And then for middleweight, you have picked Impa Kasanganai.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this. I'm not going to lie.
We're going to be there live. We're going to be there live. Guys, we're going to Q&As. We're going to do shows there live. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to do more stuff. I had a good talk.
Oh, I was going to say, tell us what you want to see while we're at PFL.
Ooh, okay.
Like, tell us what you want. Who do you want to see interviews with? What kind of interviews do you want to see? Like, tell us what the content you guys want.
I think I'm going to play ping pong with fighters and do an interview while playing ping pong.
I'm for it. I'll film.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Guys, what a great show. We appreciate you so much. I know we argued for 25 minutes, but there's not one person on this planet I'd rather in my co-pilot seat other than Elle Dawson. She is the best. She is my phone call. If I had a $50 million phone call, I would call her and she would answer.
I will answer.
The best. All right, guys. We'll see everyone. If not later on this week, Sunday is Sunday Morning Brew. There's no live this weekend. UFC is pretty bad of a show, so I will not be doing a live. Sunday Morning Brew will be back next Tuesday. It's a UFC pay-per-view week and an Island Fights week. So big week. We'll see everyone